Okay, so let me just start the today's session. So pretty much in the last session, like what we have did, like we have interacted with the web pages with the help of the Selenium. So which is nothing but with the help of the send keys, like we have injected an input, we have injected the password, and post that like we have clicked on the login button and post clicking on the login button. So now some error message is populating. So like you need to validate this appropriate error message. So how you can validate this error message in the sense like we need to extract this error message from the UI. So how we can extract in the sense like whatever the error message you need to extract. So you can just right click over it and you can inspect it up. So whenever we inspect, the appropriate node will be get highlighted. So like if you see like the appropriate node is highlighted, and if we expand this node, okay, so I told like the node can be either the closed node or a open node. So if it is pointing towards the right side, so we call it as an closed node. If it is pointing to the bottom of HTML code, we call it as an open node. So here, as it is pointing towards right, this is a closed node. I'm expanding this closed node. So when I expand this closed node, you could see like it is starting with the tag called as a div. So whenever we are having the open tag, so we will be having close tag either at the same line or a different line. So now if you relate the structure, like we are having the tag followed by we are having the attribute and attribute values, and post that like we are having some text value. Okay, so these we call it as an text value. So whatever the text value which is wrapped in the DOM structure will be available in the screen, which is nothing but whatever the text which is wrapped in the HTML code will be populate in the UI. So for example, like if I change the text to just like an learn more, and what happened like the error message will be changed to learn more. So which means like what I'm trying to say here is like whatever the text which is available in the DOM structure will be populating in the UI. So now just let me refresh the screen so that like the appropriate error message will be getting displayed. So now again let me right click and inspect this error message, and this is the appropriate node. So in this node, in addition to in addition to tag and elements, we are having text. So now we are going to extract this text. So why we need to extract this text in the sense, because like we need to do the validation. So we need to validate so whether the error message is correct or not. And how we are going to do in the sense, let me just open the code which we have done. So we have done the basics of an automation. Like initially like we have navigated to the Salesforce, and followed by like we have entered the username and password, and we have performed the like click operation. So now let me just do the uncomment. So these are the key things we have done. So now we are going to extract the text. How we are going to extract the text? Only with the help of the WebDriver. The variable name of the WebDriver we call it as a driver. So I'm just choosing from the suggestion, and then like we are going to find the element, and the find element is a parameterized method. So we need to pass the by class. So and I'm using the appropriate locator. So you can use any of the locator. So we are having something called as a class, and then like ID. So and then like we are having area live, etc. So now let me try to use this ID. So I told like whenever you are going to use something, so have the habit of checking whether the attribute and attribute value is unique or not. So how you can validate in the sense with the help of the XPath. So the syntax of the XPath is like / tag name. So the tag name is like kind of a div, and post that like we need to specify the attribute with the help of an at notation, and then like we need to specify the attribute value. So now I'm just specifying the attribute value. I'm going to verify whether it is unique or not. How we can verify in the sense, so click anywhere in the HTML code and do Control F, and then paste the syntax. So like whenever you are getting an one of one result, it is unique, and it is always highlight the result in the HTML code. So now If I hover my mouse over the HTML code, it will highlight the error message in the UI. So which means like whatever the attribute and attribute value which we are going to use is an unique. So now I'm going to use it up. So by dot id, and then I can specify the attribute value. So the attribute value is like kind of an error. So either I can use the id locator or I can use the export syntax. So it is like purely the user choice. So like it is purely your decision. So like at the end of the agenda is like the result, whatever the attribute and attribute value which you are preferring should be unique. So that is the point we should always have in our mind, and pose that like it is purely user choice to choose any of the locators. And what is the action we are going to do over here is like we are going to extract the text. So like in order to extract the text, we are going to use the method called as an get text. Okay, so this is the method which we are going to use it up. So whenever we run the code, so what happened? It will extract the text. So text is nothing but obviously like it is a string. So it is returning a string value, and we need to like store this value in any of the variable so that like we can print the error message in the console. So whatever the text message which is extracting as it is of an text, so we need to specify the data type as it is returning the text value. So I'm specifying the data type as a string, and I'm giving the variable name as an error message, and I'm assigning the value. So whatever the value which the get text will return, it will be stored in a error message. So error message is nothing but it is a variable name. So I have already told this point, the variable holds the value. So whenever we try to like print this variable called as an error message, like inside this variable the appropriate value will be get stored. Now let me just try to do the sysout operation, so like called as an error message, and let me just try to run the script so to ensure like whether the text is extracting from the HTML DOM or not. So now let it run. Okay, so the first step is like it will do the browser invocation. It will invoke the Chrome in my system, entering the username, entering the password, and then it's clicking on the login button, and suppose that like with the help of the get text method, it may extract the text and it may stored in a string called as an error message. Now let me just look over the console. So like in the console, like you could see like it is printing the error message. So like please check your username and password. So this is what like which is available in the UI, right? So which is nothing but the same thing is available in the HTML code. So we are extracting the text from the HTML code.